Okay. Hi, everyone. I hope you're well. I hope you're doing well. So I am here tonight. I wanted to go live and talk with you all a little bit about reflections on what's happening here today. For those of you who are new, hi there, bonsoir. For those of you who are new to my page, or for those of you who have been around and just need a reminder, my name is Odessa. I am a womb wellness therapist, and I help women to overcome issues such as infertility, abnormal cycles, so that they can have those successful pregnancies and, just thrive, especially after miscarriages. And so I do this by using natural medicine, energy healing, and soul therapy. And if you want, you can stay around to the end to make sure to find out a little bit more about how we can work together if this is something you're interested in. So this evening, I wanted to come and talk to you about the toxic culture around miscarriages. Recently, more and more celebrities have been speaking out about their birth experiences. I've got some babies in the background there you can hear. But some celebrities have been speaking out more and more about their experiences around birth. Beyonce spoke about it. Serena Williams spoke about it. And then we also had because of, I think, the kind of microscope we had on society, there was the highlight or the highlighting of the disparities of Black women in birth when they enter into the hospitals, their survival rates and all of that. So, we can go on. We can talk about, like forced, or threatened inductions and C-sections. We can talk about birth rape. We can talk about, a lot of different things, but the main thing that I want to talk about is the toxic culture around miscarriages. And specifically, what comes to mind are, I'm thinking about Chrissy Teigen, and I'm thinking about Meghan Markle. Earlier on this year, John Legend, singer, and his wife Chrissy Teigen were expecting a child, and the child passed away. The child died in utero and was stillborn. So this baby passed away at the age of 23 weeks in utero, and so this is a stillborn baby. And so Chrissy Teigen shared a lot of pictures about her experience, and she was criticized for it. And her response to that was that there are people who want to, know that they want to know about it. There are people who have lived this. And there are people who are curious about it, and so this was her reason for documenting it. Now, last week, we had Meghan Markle, who, one second, please. Yes.
Mom, can we go with the video? Yay!
Okay, so last week we heard that Meghan Markle had a miscarriage in the summertime, and she penned something for the New York Times, and there we were able to read about her experience. And what she wrote about was, someone asking her, the act of someone asking her if she is okay. And I thought that this was interesting because a huge problem that we have, greetings, thanks for joining. A huge problem that we have is that women are experiencing high amounts of trauma when it comes to birth, when it comes to their womb wellness, and it's not really noticed, or if it's noticed, it's swept under the rug, and if it is mentioned, it's kind of bypassed because we're kind of supposed to, maintain and push forward and, do what we're supposed to do. We're expected to continue going on. So if a woman, what I would ask myself, one of the first questions that I had for myself was, when specifically for, and I'll mention Meghan Markle, or Chrissy Teigen, and anyone in general, because these are the women specifically who I brought up as reference, right? When a woman goes through a miscarriage, what is her self-care routine going to look like right afterwards? You know what I mean? Has she thought about that? Has anyone thought about that? Has anyone mentioned it to her? You know, and is she going to try to get pregnant right away, right after? You know, because there's always this pressure a lot of times that women are feeling to get pregnant, to stay pregnant, to produce an heir, to produce an offspring, to produce a boy child, to produce a girl child. There's just so much pressure and stress that women are experiencing around the reproductive health, right? And so when a woman is going through the pressure or the angst and the trauma of miscarrying or having had to terminate a pregnancy for medical reasons, you know what I mean? And she's grieving and she's going through, you know, who is this imposition of thought coming from? Where is this imposition of thought coming from? Who taught you, right, to feel the pressure and the stress and to live with this pressure and stress? Do you know where I'm coming from? You know, and if you understand, if you can relate, if you feel what I'm saying, go ahead, let me know. Give me some hearts, put an emoji down there, you know. Let me know that you understand what I'm saying, because like this is something that I find is etched in the minds of people, you know, and etched in the minds of men and in the minds of women. Yeah, thank you, you know. It's like, you know, we have this expectation of how we're supposed to behave, you know what I mean, of you know, in the process of, you know, give thanks. Yeah, you hear me. You know, by having a womb, you know, you're supposed to behave a certain way. By, you know what I mean? Like if you miscarry, you have to get right back on that grinding, you know, and that's not cool. So, you know, what I have noticed is that lots of times women just want to be heard. You know, that's the main thing. No need to take time to hear from women. Exactly. You know, we want to be heard. We want to be asked if we're okay. You know, we want to be acknowledged. We want people to know that, you know, the experience that we've had has been heard, that people are, you know, able to relate, that it isn't, you know, just one thing that happens specifically, you know, to me. I'm not alone in my box. I'm not the only person. Yes, women experience miscarriages all of the time, but you're not the only person. Once again, I just want to make sure y'all know I've got some people in the background doing their thing. So, you know, and the other thing too that I've noticed women want, Kidane, can you give mommy some time, please?
Mom.
Yes, dear. Okay, don't worry, okay? We're gonna fix it soon. I'm trying to get a short way out of this, friends. Okay, go with her, okay? Emika, let him come with you, please. I love it all. Thank you. Right, okay. So so I'm talking about things that we thank you for the love. Things that we really want to experience, you know what I mean? Not feeling that isolation, right? You have little ones too, exactly, right? So we can all relate to one another in some way, shape, or form. And so the other piece is, you know, women need space to grieve. Right? First of all, society doesn't know how to grieve, doesn't know how to grieve properly, and women need space to grieve. As soon as a woman becomes pregnant, whether you choose to agree or not agree about the debate as to whether it's life or not, give thanks on Facebook. Whether you choose to, whatever your perspective is, the point of that is that a woman's chemistry has changed. Her body chemistry has changed. As soon as the sperm and the egg have come together and meiosis and mitosis begin, as soon as that embryo begins to take shape, about a woman, whether she knows it or not, her body has started to change, and so it begins to do its duty. So once you have experienced that and you go through a miscarriage, whether it's early or not, you can feel a loss. You know, you can experience and feel a loss. And, you know, how can you grieve? You know, how do you grieve? And are you given permission? And if you're not able to do that, what are you going to do? You're going to kind of fall back into the habit, which brings me to the next point of, you know, what are the reasons why we're experiencing, you know, pain and frustrations around these miscarriages and these stillborn babies and these, you know, terminated pregnancies, you know. And when it comes back down to it, for me, women are taught to suffer in silence. We're taught to suffer in silence and to just kind of be present. You know, there's still that old, you know, patriarchal perspective that, which is coming down, by the way, okay? That London Bridge is coming down, yeah, okay? But that patriarchal perspective is still kind of, you know, it doesn't, not kind of, but it overshadows everything that we're doing and who we are and how we perceive life and what we do. And so a lot of women and a lot of people, first of all, won't talk about these kinds of things. Secondly, will prescribe or subscribe to what we perceive or think women are supposed to do. You know, like, you're supposed to sit and be pretty, you're supposed to get married, you know what I mean? If you are subscribing to traditional roles, because this is even going to break off into other kinds of questions and concerns, right? You're supposed to sit pretty, you're supposed to have the babies, you're supposed to be able to, you know, produce these offspring. And so you have this first, you know, experience that you're grieving because you couldn't do it in the first place. So you may not feel great about yourself in this moment. You know what I mean? You may not feel, you know what I mean, at your best. You may not feel as though your body is functioning the way it's supposed to be. And then the other piece to that is that, you know, you've got your family that's expecting things from you. You've got this martyrdom that's coming up, you know, because of what it is that, you know, your women are living with and living through right now. You've got, you know, this, a lot of pressure for women in society around reproduction. This potential bomb is so huge right now because, you know, it isn't just about, you know, reproduction, but it's around who can reproduce now, right? Because, you know, you can have test tube babies, right? And so what does that mean for women? I was thinking about all these things and I was like, okay, are we going to go into these different corners? You know, because it really opens up a lot of questions, you know, like, we're too soft, we're too this, we're too that. So, you know, we're dealing with, you know, how we're supposed to look, how we're supposed to be, you know what I mean? How we're supposed to want to behave around having a baby. And then there's this, you know, how you should behave after if you have a miscarriage, right? But then I keep on looking at my notes here. And the other piece to that is, you know, like, wanting to be in the world, wanting to, you know, be successful, wanting to get things done, wanting to make your mark in the world. And then, you know, going against the grain of what is required, you know, when a woman miscarries. You know, like, if you go into a surgery, you're not supposed to be out the same day jumping and bumping. You know what I mean? So learning how to honor, right, that space, you know what I mean, that space of mourning, that space of grieving, that space of transition, that space between life and rebirth, you know, life and death, life and rebirth, life, death, and rebirth, you know what I mean? Honoring that, you know, wherever you are on your journey, you know what I mean? If it's you needing to and wanting to, you know, build your family up, if it's you, you know, wanting to establish yourself in the world and just really needing to, you know, settle down and figure out what the direction is. The point is, for me, the biggest piece of this puzzle is, once you have experienced a miscarriage, right? What are you going to do and where are you rushing off to? You know, a woman should take at least 2 to 3 months to recover after she's had a miscarriage, a stillborn, probably even longer, right? Or a terminated pregnancy, before you're going to try to have your child again. Why? Because your body needs time. Yes, dear.
I want milk.
Okay, you're gonna get some, okay? Emika, can you hook him up with some milk, please? Okay, thank you. Your body needs time to recuperate, right? You need to reclaim your time. You need to honor the process that you've gone through, because you started and stopped a cyclical process, right? Like, your body received information, timeless information, and this cycle went to a certain point and it ended. It didn't go beyond a particular point. So you completed something there, right? But you are left with a feeling of incompletion. And so needing to heal that, needing to seal that up before trying to bring a new life into the picture, before getting your body to start that work process again, you know, feed yourself, nourish yourself, regenerate yourself, you know, raise your vibration and strengthen your emotional and mental life, your livity, right? So knowing that, you know, the body needs time to regenerate itself, and giving yourself that time are two very different things. And so this is what I want to leave you with. This toxic culture of, you know, miscarriages, you know, of like once your belly or your womb is empty, you've got to try at this moment because you don't have time, or you have pressure, or you've got things to do, or this. We have to step away from it. We as women have to reclaim our bodies. We have to reclaim our cycles and establish a new rhythm and bring more equilibrium into what we're doing. So I just wanted to come on and leave you with these thoughts, with, you know, these sharings, these offerings, and hope that it can inspire you, you know, or if you know, thank you for the love, or if you know of anyone who can use this information, please make sure and share with them so that they can, you know, just have something to sit and think about. And for anyone who is interested in taking this a little bit further, please make sure to go to the link in my bio and click on the link for a next step call. We can have a conversation to talk about where you are on your fertility journey, on your womb wellness journey, and talk about the kind of healing that you're looking for, what you want it to look like, and how my services can be available to you, or what kind of services I have that are available to you. And so you can go ahead and click the link on my bio, and on Facebook. You can click the link on the recording below. And I just want to leave you all with this. I thank you so much for joining me. It was a pleasure to have you. And I'll be back next week. I'll probably be back next week to give some more tips, tricks, and doodads, on IG and Facebook Live. So you all take care and have a good evening, and I will see you all again soon.